probably do it.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Yes, welcome again to our combining life coaching from, different perspectives for, I'm just going to read it because we're not posting it. Combining life coaching perspectives for emotional health. We're going to talk about the new year and I don't want to use the word goal, but just a word. And we're going to focus on Liberty giving us some information because she's done this before. And then I will just give some inputs and perspectives from what I see and hear. So Liberty, you want to go ahead and start this?
Awesome. Thank you. So what I do every year instead of setting goals is I focus on a word of the year. And I take that word and I make it a meditative focus for the year. And so this year I have chosen the word fallow. And for those of you that might not know, fallow is a season of rest that the farmers give their fields. And in biblical terms, it's every 7 years. And starting in May of 23, I will be starting my 7th year of recovery. And the word just kind of came to me in a meditative exercise. So I felt like it fit perfectly for this year. And I know when I do my word of the year every year, I set an intentional focus for that year with the word. And I set goals surrounding that word and I work towards those. And then at the end of the year, I take an evaluation and see how it manifested through the year.
I like that. I like the fact that you don't put like this event or this goal that you have to accomplish before you get there because you want the freedom to just see how it manifests within itself, but that you're still focused on it and you're still meditating about it. So I kind of like that because, when you do that, it doesn't feel as limiting or anxiety provoking. A lot of times when I make a goal, if I don't follow within what I think in my head, I start getting anxious. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. So the way you're doing it, you're like in agreement with yourself. This is what you're going to do. And you just meditate or, maybe different people may think it's just focusing or thinking about it, but I like the way you're saying that. Go on.
Yeah. I really like that it's an intention and not like a New Year's resolution because it's, we make these resolutions. It's like, oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to, do whatever it is that someone sets a resolution for. And with the word of the year, it's more of an intention. And so
tell me what intention is. Maybe people might not know what intention, because, intention could manifest in a negative or a positive because people need to be aware of what they're thinking.
Yes.
You're saying you want, let's pretend you want a husband, but everything you're doing inside of you is telling you you're not worthy of one. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there, guys. I'm not saying that you're looking for a husband. I'm just saying, so you got to be in congruence. At least that's what I think you're saying.
Yeah. So with intentions, we can go positive or negative with them. And basically what I set for myself is a daily focus for that word and to notice when that word comes up for me. Like I said, last year was harmony for me. And I had the overall goal of creating harmony within myself and my kids. And the intention every day was how can I create more harmony? And it wasn't like I'm going to do this one goal every day and that will create harmony. It was how can I focus on this word today and manifest that at some point today?
You know what, Liberty, what I'm hearing you say is you're working on a spiritual level. This isn't an action. It manifests in an action, but when you're focusing, and since our energy is really stronger and more pronounced than our physical, Our spirit is what creates, our physical body just enjoys the manifestation of it. So what now, as you say that, it's clicking that whenever we're intentional, especially positive, we get a result, and we don't necessarily have to go through the anxiety provoking feeling that we get when we haven't physically done what we think an action we're supposed to do. This is good. Go ahead.
Well, and it's funny that you say that, because like how the word came to me was all of my parts have this scrambling energy towards all, because I have like 10 life goals. And so my parts like scramble to work towards each of these goals. And the word fallow came to me because all these parts are scrambling, and it's like, oh, we just need to rest. We need to just let the field lie.
That's beautiful, because when you say that, and then you tell me you worked on harmony last year, it kind of coincides. It's like in my opinion, you would have to prepare for this rest. So you have to get in some kind of congruency, some kind of harmony to, now I'm looking back at the fields and the harvesting, so that 6th year, you would be, getting prepared for that 7th year that you're not going to harvest, or you're not going to be working and moving and things like that. So this is very interesting how it manifests itself. So yeah.
Yeah. And I love that I can focus on the word fallow and focus on how I'm just doing this busy energy, and I wouldn't say I'm not making progress towards my goals, because I do make progress towards my goals, but there is a lot of just busy energy, and it's the anxiety of these parts just trying to scramble and do all of these things to create whatever it is I'm trying to create.
And that I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, but that reminds me of, because I work with women under grief. I mean, there's many components of grief, but what you're describing, especially when you talk about the scrambling or the anxiety, reminds me of what we call sturbing, which is short-term energy relief behavior. So we do things to get a relief, but then it builds up again. It's kind of like doing drugs, or if you're addicted to what is adrenaline, you build this thing up and you get this adrenaline rush, and then when it starts to go down, it's a depressing feeling, and nobody wants to feel that. And there is a way, of course, to give harmony or balance in that. But I understand how that can be draining, can be really draining, when you're always looking for some type of relief, that you got to do something to get to this, because that's the only way you're going to feel better. But anyway, I may be taking a little out of context. I'm just thinking about grief. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting thought, because ultimately, like what the goals is like that release of dopamine. So like when we set goals, even like daily or weekly goals, like we're working towards that to get that dopamine release, to get that rush. And then we're back on the roller coaster again. I think that's why this word came to me, because I've been in that busy mode for so long in my recovery journey. And yeah, I'm making tons of progress. But internally there's still chaos that I would like to sit with. And so like no longer doing those relieving behaviors. I guess that wouldn't ultimately be my goal anyway. I guess to be more balanced in how I do that and when I do it.
Yeah. Powerful. Good. I like it. So, what would you suggest? How would, because we had agreed that as we end, we're going to kind of try to leave people with an action. So what would you tell them to do?
I would basically ask people to ask themselves, what their word is for the year. What word would they like to focus on, and how could they set up either a meditation system or a goal that they could work towards, doing the intention setting daily for that word, and
I like
actually seeing how it manifests through the year.
I like when you said goal and intention. So the goal could be having the intention.
Yeah, definitely.
And that would be easier to meet, and it wouldn't cause as much anxiety, because let's pretend you're just learning how to do this. And today life was so busy, you didn't even think about the intention. Well, you can always restart tomorrow. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it doesn't
and
feel.
if you've already thought of the word that day, like you've checked it off your list, because like, oh yeah, I thought of the word. And I think what I ultimately like to do for my word of the year is to have that daily awareness of where I want to focus. So for me, it will be noticing daily those opportunities for rest, or those opportunities to do less things.
So you could put it on your mirror in the morning when you're going to bathe or brush your teeth or whatever, to remind you to have an intention.
Yeah. Or like in the daily meditation texts.
Yeah.
It could be there.
Yeah,
It
for
could
you and
be
I.
in the journal.
Yes. I wonder how many people took that on. I wonder.
I don't know. It's honestly really hard to get people to actually do daily texts. A lot of people feel overwhelmed, and a lot of people feel like they don't accomplish as many things. And so I think there is some judgment maybe that they might feel and not want to do that.
Yeah, that's powerful. Since we're really not going to save this, that might also be a follow-up. How did you do?
Yeah.
Texting, did you feel guilty about it or whatever? So we've got it now. Did you feel the flow?
Hold on, I
Oh,
gotta
we're
stop.
not going to
Stop
save it.
recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
that was good. Are you kidding?